Okay, good afternoon or good night for whoever watching this one. Oh, especially you, Austin. So you are early than I thought. I think you mentioned you will be late because you're working, but apparently you're not. Okay, let me see where I can put my... I definitely need to find some place to put my phone. Okay, it's not too heavy to stop that. Okay, this is good. Hello, hello. Okay, so we are not going to build this keyboard. This is just a keyboard on string. And we are going to build a GMMK Pro. And I actually unboxed last night, but let's just unbox again. So we have the cleaning kit from GMK Glorious actually. I probably won't use this one on stream since this is a new keyboard. I don't need to clean that. And actually before that, let me unbox one of my latest Artisan raffle win. I got from Bearby. Okay, fancy stickers. One more stickers, nice. And some sugar. Okay, I will just eat on stream. It's the grapefruit flavor. So there's another blueberry yogurt. Okay, I will probably just eat later. Yeah, so I got two Bearby keycaps. So one is, I believe this is the Bearby for the JTK. So we can see we have this cute beer pour and also the Artisan keycaps. Yeah, I will show them together. So this time I want two. And if they are really close, I probably need to trade, but I don't think they are the same one. Yeah, they are really close, but they are not the same. So potentially, I need to do some trading afterwards. So we have different beer pour. So this one says Sky on that. And also the two Bearby keycaps. Yeah, from the top down they look very similar, but this one is more traditional, like no pattern on the design. And this one is more special. So with the lighting you can see some sparkling point. And also on this part it says Sky in Chinese. Yeah, so this is pretty unique, special. I would definitely keep both. I probably will trade one, maybe this one, to other color if later. But yeah, both are great keycaps. Oh, actually I have two stickers because I want two. By the way, is the music too loud? Oh, just okay. Now I don't remember which one is which, but I believe this one is... So what's the little paw? They are not for anything, they are just for collective purpose. So you don't really do anything with them, but they are cute. Yeah, so these are the two Artisan keycaps I just got today. And if you collect enough, I believe you can take better photo with that if you want. Okay, put aside. Now we will unbox the next item. So this is the glorious rotary knob, and let's see, where's my tweezer? Oh, I still have this one. So if you're getting GMK and you don't like the default silver knob, you can get maybe other color. So this one is the gold color that client chose. So look at this one. Yeah, it's not really heavy, but it painted with the gold color, so it probably match better with other keycap set if you want to do. So let's put this one. Let's leave this one. It's smaller enough. And the next one. So it's the GMK, and it's the barebone white eyes. So we will probably need the gasket. Do we really need? Is that pre-installed? Yeah, we will check that. So you know which board I will probably compare. I will compare the E7 V2 keyboard. So bye bye KFE. And let me get the E7 V2 out. Yes, so it's the 75% keyboard comparison if at the end you want to do that. Okay, so comparing the size, the GMK Pro is a little bit higher, like larger. Yeah, it just has like a little bit thicker bezel. If you really want the thicker one, maybe GMK Pro. And the typing angle, yeah, I think the front height is pretty similar. So if we try to compare, pretty much the same front height. GMK Pro is actually lower front height. And let's compare the back. I think the back height is probably similar as well. But I remember E7 V2 has 5.5 degree typing angle, and GMK Pro has a little bit sharper, so it looks like they are pretty much the same height. And the only thing is GMK Pro is larger. And the layout comparison. So the layout is pretty similar if you really consider they are just like different variant of 75. And the only difference is GMK Pro doesn't have the blocker like the E7 to show off the 7 number pattern. So if you light up, yeah, lighting up, it will show pretty neat pattern. And here the signature part is the knob. Yeah, I probably usually like streaming early on, Saturday, because I don't need to work. On other days I need to work and get dinner, then it will be late. But yeah, today I got the Jelly Epoch. I got that one. I chose the SE version, so I get less traffic. I think that's the last one to be sold. And my next target next week, so there is a Matrix 8X V2.0 flash sale on Tuesday morning. I don't know. Maybe I will get that, maybe I won't. Okay, I think the music is too loud for me. Yeah, I'm just like speaking so loud. Yeah, I don't know when it will ship, but in general, I'm not expecting to get that within a month. I think they were mentioning the national holiday in China, I know that, and there will be some shipping delay. Okay, by doing that, I probably want to take out the knob first. Actually, it doesn't really matter, because the knob itself still has higher height than other parts. So for both keyboard, actually let me check what switches I have here on E7. Yeah, so I get the Compatible switch, which is the GMK linear with progressive spring and also a little bit longer stem, so it generates deeper sound. And the keycap, the switches I'm using on the GMK Pro will be FFFF switches. So I did some research. It's basically similar to other JWK, so it should be smooth and the normal JWK sound signature. Yeah, so I was making dessert with my girlfriend before this stream, and I won't say I finished my part. I just said I probably need to stream because people who I talked to last night said they are expecting to see me streaming the GMMK Pro even last night, and they didn't see that. And I said I will stream today, so I don't want to miss this one again. So she's cooking the dessert right now alone. Yeah, I probably definitely need to do this stream quicker so that I can help him again. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I got all the screws, and how do I take it out? Okay, so everything is out. So this is the top case, and the color itself is set as snow white, but it's definitely not. And you can see all the gasket. So we have the side acrylic piece for diffuser, and we have the gasket on different parts of the keyboard. Even we have the side gasket to prevent the plates hitting the side of the case. Hello, hello. Yeah, I think this gasket is not too good. It's like very thin and very stiff, I would say. Yeah, it's definitely stiff. So potentially looking at the gasket here, due to minor variants that can occur during machining process of your GMK Pro, you may need to apply additional gasket strip. For peak acoustic quality, for more information, look at application instruction, visit GMK Quick Start. So let me check if I can get some quick start. Yeah, I don't know, like when I build keyboard, I even have this option to go check out. Quick start, yeah, I haven't been doing this for years. So the keyboard and accessories, GMMK Pro, and user guide. Okay, so we have a user guide. So we need to have latest firmware. Okay, we need to download some software. And we have the instruction of how to do it. And let me download the software. I hope they have the Mac version. warranty. Okay, so potentially we just need to download the Mac OS standalone updater. Okay, we don't have a Mac software. Okay, so we need to disconnect the daughter board. So it's actually this side. So you can take a look. This is basically all the hot swap socket, and with the daughter board connector, and we have the knob already soldered in, and we have all the side underglow, and also per key RGB. And we have a case form layer at the bottom with a daughter board USB-C port. So we have, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like you can even have a guide to like put this one's insert here. And yeah, you can see already some gasket were pretty scuffed. Can you see that? Yeah, so either it's not installed correctly, I just get, yeah, it's definitely not looking good, the default ones. So let me see if I can even fix this one. Actually, the quick start guide didn't say about anything related to replacement gasket, so I don't know. Should I try to replace this one? But yeah, this is definitely not looking good. I wonder I can remove this one easily. Okay. So remove one, and let's try to replace that with a separate one. Yeah, E7 definitely looking very good. I like the looking of E7 much better than the GMK Pro, but I'm putting here to give better comparison about the keyboard itself. So probably I need to make sure I put on the right spot. And let's put the plate here to see if they are actually on the right spot. Okay, not exactly is. For example, this one doesn't really put on the right spot, so I match that, and which is actually not correct. So that means the default one is not. So this is not personal, this is from a client. Actually, I have two right now in my place. So two GMMK Pro. I don't know, people want to get GMMK Pro, but they still want to have good modding on that. Yeah, I think I'm just not charging a lot on hot swap builds. I'm charging $10 on hot swap. So it's not a lot to help modding this one, especially you need to mod like the screw-in stabilizers. Okay, so the gasket is really easy to get scuffed. That's why they gave so many replacement. Yeah, I think even with me, I personally had lot of experience working with hot swap keyboard. I don't feel like this is any good quality of gasket. Yeah, it's just like saying this is gasket. It didn't really give you the full gasket quality that you should get. So we are just replacing the default gasket with some replacement so that it doesn't really suck. I mean, it still sucks, but it doesn't suck that much. Cool, so we replace the bottom case gasket. Yeah, GMMK sockets were pretty good. But I don't know, sometimes if I have the hot swap version, I'm too lazy, I probably just leave it there, because sometimes hot swap takes time to do it. Okay, cool, so we got the bottom case inspected and also get the gasket replaced. So the next part, let's put our case form back. Yeah, I don't think you will not need this case form for this keyboard. Yeah, it's definitely needed. And let's try to put everything back just by getting this back and do some visual inspection. Okay, so the case is fine. And we need to remove the standoff so that we can get rid of the stock stabilizers, which the client definitely don't want. And how many how many standoff they have? And potentially you don't want to have the standoff for your keyboard because that will make it much stiff. So I try to remove 2 standoffs. Okay, I feel like I'm losing 1 screw. Okay, luckily I got it back. Okay, where's the other one? Yeah, GMMK definitely feels better, but it just costs a little bit more, so it's trade-off of like what you try to get. Yeah, I got the right screws here. Yeah. It's really hard to say which screws are for what, so try not to mix match. Yeah, everything is Phillips. So you know how hard I try to get these keycaps, the purple one? They are really hard. So I believe there are some extras on the E7 because Exclusive tried to do this group buy as soon as possible, and the best thing on this market right now is about how to get in stock item. So potentially group buy is just the way to start getting the interest. Okay, we still have more screws. And in stock or even extras will be the mainstream in the future, in the near future. Why it's so glad you don't get the group buy for R2? Did you get R1? Yeah, I got my most of GMK sets from extra sale, so I don't know. They are basically double the price of group buy price, so potentially I'm already spending twice as much as what I should spend, but still better than Mac Market, so I won't complain anything. Yeah, extra sale definitely need luck. Yeah, I don't think it's just like the skill that you have. Even for first come first serve, it's also the same. Like, I think today I'm trying to get the SE version of the Jelly Epoch, but to be honest, I don't know if I try to get other color, will that be still successful? Okay, so we get some diffuser part for the side below. Okay, so I need to remember how they work. So this is the side on this part, and I believe this will be look like this. Cool. I will just put it here, and this is the PCB we are going to work on, and looks very cheap. And this is the platform per se. So if you look at the platform, it sticks with the plate, and it's really cheap quality. That's why it's how much? Like in total 170. Yeah, it's definitely stick onto the plate. I don't want to peel it off. And let's see the stabilizers. Yeah, I definitely feel like they are a bit scratchy. So per client's need, let's do, yeah, that's the gold steps. So let's try to replace one, and we can compare two of the stabilizers maybe. And let's see if they use standoff. Okay, so if they don't use standoff, I probably don't really use standoff, just to keep consistency. And let's use some Durock stabilizers. So the gold stabilizers, are they good or not? Let's try it out. Basically, we want to compare that with the Durock stabilizers side by side with some switch and keycaps on it. And the keycaps we are going to use today is the GMK DMG. Let's bring that out. So this is the keycaps we are going to use today. How do you feel about their keycaps? I don't really get one of their keycaps, so I have no idea. But by look at how they designed, I don't really like their design, to be honest. Yeah, so in general, this is a client build, and I believe my client also has all the GMK. But he definitely wants to have a try on the GMMK Pro, so it's a special test on like how such keyboard can still be in the collection, because this has a knob, so you don't really have a lot of custom keyboard has knob, so still very unique on the custom. I see Bingsu R2 with text icon mods and also novelty. Yeah. Taro is definitely great on black case. Yeah, I have no doubt this is on my collection forever. Yes, let's try to get some Durock stabilizers and try to mod them, and we can compare them with the gold stabilizers that they did on the board. So I'm going to use the screws from them. Interesting fun fact. So we have two screws from the stabilizers. They are not the same size. Is that even a thing? Use different screws for the stabilizers? Okay, I'm going to use the Durock screws. Yeah, I feel like everything on this GMK Pro were not as high quality as like you can see on the other custom keyboard, even compared to, let's say, KB Defense. yeah, things are off a lot, like the foam or chip quality, like the gasket were just scuffed around. And PCB looks cheap. I actually didn't even test the PCB. Should I test that? Oh, this is hot swap. Maybe it doesn't matter, right? And the stabilizers, the loop job were pretty bad by looking at that. So if you look at the loop job, it just like insert a lot of like cheap loop. I don't know if it's the glorious G loop, but just insert all the loop from this angle. And I don't really see a lot loop on the housing inside the insert. So it's really just like loop them for the sake of looping them. So looping the stabilizers. Yeah, so I'm just doing one for the purpose of comparison, but if this turns out to be much better, I will definitely replace everything with the Durock stabilizers. Yeah, I currently just don't have a lilac or maybe purple keyboard to pair with the GMK Taro. And I tried the GMK Taro on the E-white keyboard and also the black keyboard. They all look very good. But still, I probably want to have a lilac version of a keyboard. I just don't know which one I should go. Should I go the lilac piggy? Yeah, I remember to enter that raffle. And also, I got my Blue Sky series baby. Yeah, I can show that again. So this is the regular version. Yeah, I think the color looks closer to Mizu. I don't have Mizu, but I probably can use that on the Mizu keyboard. And this is the special edition. I don't know how many were made, but yeah, if you look at the bottom, it has the Chinese word of sky. Yeah, so pretty good keyboard, keycaps, and I like the blue, turns out. Yeah, I feel like based on the screenshot, looks like it should be only 2 of them, or 3 of them. So if I really got only 1 of the 3, then I'm so lucky. Yeah, I don't know, I entered today. I'm not sure whether I will get one or not, but I'm entered because I love all the baby work from Bobby. His work is so good. Cannot complain any. So Mr. Frosty, what are you asking me on Discord? I have seen you have a message. Nice Sakura. That group buy ended half a year ago. I think I asked you 3 times. Yeah, I think the first time you said you want, but the second and third time you were holding off on that. It's definitely not now. Like, can you try to check out on that? It's definitely already ended. Yeah, it ships September, but the group itself already ended a long time ago. Yeah, if it's still available and shipped in September, definitely a great group to join. But the problem on JTK is they are also delaying their sets for indefinitely. I don't know how long they are delaying for, but in general, I don't see JTK had good progress on their own sets right now. So I will be hesitant to join one of their sets right now unless they can show, you know, steady delivery dates. But their color were pretty good because they are also using double shot ABS. So pretty much the same standard as GMK, but I don't like their kitting. Their kitting doesn't really go well with, you know, HHKB layout. And I don't think they are willing to add more kitting just because of how, like, designer has to add the kitting. Okay, so we got the Durock stabilizers and the gold stabilizers. So let's turn off the music and let's try some switches and the stabilizers. So the switches we have for this keyboard is the FFFF. Is that 4F or 3F? But yeah, let's try two switches here and also the keycaps. Okay, I feel like the switch itself is pretty like loose, so potentially I should use a plate and also a platform. Yeah, feels like I'm building the keyboard already. Yeah, the first thing I will need to test is whether it can work with the plate. Yeah, looks like it's okay. So not a huge problem to work with the plate for this. Yeah, so the socket itself is a little bit loose. Let me test if it's even working. Okay, so get the switches. Okay, so we get two, and let's put the enter key and the backspace. If you want to just collect them in jars, all kinds of JWK recolor will satisfy your needs, but do you really want that? Okay, so I should have the same comparison, so maybe two enter keys. So it should be better comparison because I don't want to end up with different key, different profile, generate different sounds. Okay, so let's hear it out. So the first thing is the Durock. And this is the goat. Yeah, definitely the goat from GMK Pro itself is not very like balanced. If you tap the left side versus the right side. left, right, and the Durock. Oh, one thing, I have to go. Be right back. Okay, I think the dessert is almost done, so I probably will enjoy some dessert during the stream. So let's see. Okay, so again, this is the GOAT stabilizers. Yeah, not as bad as people said. And this is the Durock. Actually, if you really compare, yeah, the GOAT is definitely worse. Yeah, so the difference is one is Durock, one is GMMK Pro itself, and the other difference is one looped by me and the other one looped by who knows. Okay, I will just use all Durock and replace everything for the client. Okay, before that, I want to make sure I didn't really break the socket, because if I break the socket, I don't know what should I do. Probably tell the client and let's try to get a replacement. I didn't really break the socket, I just see the socket were popping out while I'm inserting the switch, and the popping out part is not the same as what I was doing. So let's see. Let's turn on the VIA software. So the dessert is egg yolk with red bean paste on. Actually, I don't know how to translate that. Oh, okay, so really fancy RGB, right? And let me test. Okay, so still works. Yeah, I like the wrapping paste a lot. Yeah, I will show you on the stream how that looks. I was working on the wrapping paste with the egg yolk part. So I contributed. I'm not just eating. Cool, let's put this back. And keep working on other stabilizers. And the music will be back. But yeah, remember to be careful when you insert the switches on this hot swap keyboard. Make sure the switch pin were straight, otherwise you may break. And also, there's no need for standoff. Like even without standoff, it's really hard to take out the plate. I guess it's probably because of the Durock stabilizers, like suck the plate in. Okay, so if you use Durock stabilizers, you can skip the part of hand standoff. Cool, let me just like unscrew all the ones that I don't need, which is all the stabilizers from Durock, from that one. Okay, looks like the dessert is ready. I will be back with the dessert. Okay, so this is the dessert. Really lovely dessert. Yeah, I probably will eat one and looks really good, right? Okay, not sure if I can show the other side. Okay, it's being really hot, so I probably will put it back. Okay, I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit. Because it's too hot right now, I cannot take it. Yeah, I cannot wait to try it out. Yeah, I was even thinking potentially, making a stream of how to make that. I don't know how many people will watch it. But yeah, indeed, they are really good. Yeah, the whole process takes a long time, but a lot of times are just waiting. Like waiting for some process, like some parts to cool down, some parts in the oven. So it's actually pretty simple if you really look at that. Yeah, the ingredient is the biggest part, but to be honest, there's not a lot of ingredient used on that. The egg yolk is the most important part. And wrapping paste is another important one. Otherwise, it's just like the regular part to make a bread. And also maybe get some butter, so you can get different layers. Okay, so let's continue working on our stabilizers. So now it's official, we are using Durock stabilizers. So we are going to use the 6.25U and another 2U stabilizers. Okay, I'm counting on myself on when I should get the dessert. I'm just waiting for it to cool down. I'm so hungry for that. Okay, I think I subscribe, or maybe I just turn on notification on KVD Fans Restock channel, and sometimes they were just popping out like maybe 10 messages in 1 second, and a lot of times they are the same item. And actually I don't even know why I'm turning on that. But indeed I tried to get one B-stock KBD8X to build, and that was the only time that I really feel the notification useful but so annoying, because they are just like, I don't know, maybe 50 or 80 something. Yeah, some were just Keycaps, right? No, that's probably not me. For sure, that's the KB defense. I don't know. Okay, cool. So one important thing to know is I'm going to eat the dessert. So let me take a quick break and get back with the dessert. Okay, totally, that's the KB defense part. How? Okay, fourth alarm. It's still too hot. My girlfriend got a bite, but she was like freaked out by how hot it is. So probably I still need to wait for another 10 minutes to get that. Yeah, I cannot imagine how you can resist that. Just like, it smells so good and it looks so good, but you cannot eat it because it's too hot. And this dessert you can even wait until it like cool down totally. So we still have some leftover like similar red bean paste dessert from last week that I just eat them as my breakfast. Yeah, for sure. It will be so satisfying. At the end, yeah, waiting is important. Like in this hobby, right? Every time you are waiting for some good keyboard, good keycaps, and finally when you get that, that's the time you finally get the satisfaction. The only dissatisfaction is probably when you lost the raffle, but if you lost raffle every week, maybe it's fine. So enter all the artisan keycaps raffle to make your heart stronger. Yeah, so remember when you screw in the stabilizers, make sure the stabilizers clipping part is already fully inserted. So last night when I had my devastating TKL built, remember I had the right shift not really working well, and turns out I just didn't really get the insert fully inserted, so the left side and the right side were not on the same surface, so the stabilizers were not even. Yeah, I got a haircut. I got a haircut by my girlfriend. She did this to me last night. And she did actually do the dessert today, so she's my angel. For sure. Yeah, she become everything that we need in the quarantine time. So she's our barber, our chef, our gardener. Like she also make the whole backyard full of succulents. And I'm just like making the plumbing work, the electricity work, and keyboard building. So I built her a keyboard. So we've been together for 6 years already. Yeah, 6 years. It's been a long time. Yeah, I feel like at some stage it's pretty much as like you can get married, but we just don't know any reason to right now. And we enjoy the life we are having now. Yeah, I don't know. Did I spend with this person more than like the time I spent with my parents? Because I don't think I spend tons of time with my parents. Most of the time I'm just like studying. So it's really hard to say. Yeah, so for these stabilizers I haven't add more loop. Plug in a butt technique. So I probably need to remember doing that at the end. Yeah, I feel like we know each other the whole life now. But she's not making the dessert for me. She's making for herself. And I got a chance to eat some parts. Just kidding, yeah, she's making for both of us. And she likes making dessert now. She's like baking recently. And I feel like this is a good hobby to start. So I can try all kinds of desserts. Yeah, if she's looking at this one. I don't know, sometimes she's coming to my stream and just looking. Okay, I still don't know why I spent so much time on the stabilizers, but I don't understand how Teha can do that, but now I understand. Just speaking things that really distracting and you want to make sure you are not ruining the stabilizers, it takes a lot of effort. Yeah, even when I do stabilizers myself off stream, a lot of times I'm just like watching other TV shows or do something else. So it also takes a little bit longer time than sometimes I can do on stream quickly. But yeah, doing stream for the stabilizers definitely feels less boring. And the stabilizers is most important part of a build. Like everybody can insert the switches. I mean, not everybody know how to insert switches safely. But stabilizers are pretty hard. Like it's really hard to know how many loop you should insert and how many loop you should like keep. Yeah, people probably won't notice, and I'm just doing all the free stabilizers tuning for people that I feel like it's the most important part of the build, but it's really hard to get recognized. But I'm fine because I get chance to play with different keyboards. That's the most important part I want to get out. I just want to get reasonable charge for my time. Okay, so yeah, again, if you're using Durock stabilizers on this keyboard, you don't really need to use the standoff because the stabilizers stuck into the plate pretty. Okay, I need to make sure all the foam are performing correctly. Yeah. Okay, not so perfect foam, but yeah, should be fine working with it. Okay, so there's some, I'm not sure, did I do right or not? Okay. So there's some standoff part that you want to clip them in, so you know they are aligned. Otherwise, they will leave a huge gap. For example, like this part. Yeah, you want to make sure it can close in. So it can close like this one. And this one also on the top. Also on the right top. And bottom too. So make sure all of them are closed. GMK Terra, wow! Another keycap set from Ren. So Miss Frosty was in the group buy of GMK 5 Western Dragon? Eastern Dragon? Who remembers that keycap set name? Maybe it's the Eastern Red Dragon. Yes, Red Dragon. And I think the translation of that is the West Dragon. Yeah, that's the translation for Chinese. Yeah, if you want to collect all the elements, you should get that one, right? Yeah, Dragon of the West. But from the Western, I think that dragon was the Eastern Dragon. So it's definitely not right on translation versus what the graph looks like. I don't think that's the Western Dragon at all. That's totally the Eastern Dragon. Yeah, I don't think Mr. Frosty get the novelty either. He definitely get the Chinese mods. Yeah, the important part is the Red Dragon name is fine, but the translation was totally off. But the translation happens to be carry the more like context and the wrong context. So that's interesting to know. Yeah, that's just fun fact. I don't think the keycap sets were anything that delivered that. But yeah, I like the novelties a lot. And I think I regret not getting the Rama keycaps. Even like Rama keycaps can be purchased standalone. Okay, I need to see if I can eat the dessert. Okay, I cannot really resist. So look at the dessert. So it has the wrapping paste and the egg yolk. No, it's already okay now. Yeah, I don't know if it will have the sun by eating. Yeah, it was so good. This is not keyboard stream. It's really just dessert showing off stream while building a keyboard. Yes, I will try. See if I can make ASMR while doing that. But I'm just so hungry, I have to finish this first. It's so good. A little bit too sweet, but you know, sometimes you have to be on the sweet side. Yeah, now I'm looking at this switch. I feel like they are also accurate. They look like egg, but not the same as Glorious Panda. So let me show a Glorious Panda switches. Do I get a Glorious Panda? Yeah, this is the Glorious. So this is the Glorious Panda. Looks like a fried egg, right? So the color itself is called Snow White, but turns out it's a silver keyboard. So not totally white. Oh, my bad. I'm making a wrong switch. So yeah, this GMMK is the Snow White. Is that the name of it? Not Snow White, it's White Ice. It's not white, it's not ice color. It's totally silver. And if you really want to know what the color of the case, it's basically the color of the plate. So look at the plate, and it even shows a little bit like yellow tone, a little bit gold. Maybe because of the sunshine from my side door that I cannot block off. I mean, I can potentially, but I just don't really have that. Yeah, I think that's the problem of Saturday afternoon stream. I just cannot really control how the lighting works for the keyboard, so it may look off. And look at how many screws we have for this keyboard. Not to count all the stabilizers, just like in general, how many screws that you need to make this keyboard work. And you really don't need to have all the standoff. Okay, now I don't remember what are the screws that I need. Okay, I think I understand. So these are the standoff, these are the standoff, these are the stabilizers, these are the standoff. So the only screws I need for the case is just like the 8 screws that we need. Just so many that you don't really need. Okay, I think I'm getting a lot of calorie from that dessert. Yeah, have you made any dessert at your home during quarantine? Okay, another KPD fence. I think cooking and baking are two different skill sets. Cooking is definitely hard because so many times you have to understand how well things get cooked, so you can like determine the time when it's ready to go next step or ready to present. But baking is definitely easier just because how baking itself is very accurate based on the timing from the recipe. So like the oven is definitely making much easier for any recipe to work. Okay, cannot bake. So what happens if you don't screw in any screws on the plate? So the switch itself, like the switch pin and the socket, will make enough friction that the PCB won't fall off. And additionally, the stabilizers I use here, the Durock stabilizers, they're pretty tight fitting with this plate, so it ends up with supporting the plate. So even without any switch I insert, I cannot even, get out the plate. So potentially you don't need the standoff, and if you don't really use the standoff, you can make a little bit like less stiff type feeling. So I would definitely recommend not using them if you know what you are doing, especially like you know how to build a custom keyboard. And that's what I tried on other keyboards. For example, the Voice 65% and also the Vega 65%. And also the KBD 67 Lite. All of them have standoff by default, but I just don't really use them because I want to get a better typing feeling for the client. And turns out they are okay. And like the only thing you need to remember is if it's not like this case, like for example, if there's not enough friction between the stabilizers and the plate, potentially what you need to do when you switch the switch, like swap the switch, is to take out everything and try to replace them. Or you can do switches by switch, so only replace maybe like 3-4 switches at a time. Instant food. Yes, I ate instant noodle every week. Not because I buy the keyboard stuff, then I have to eat ramen. Just because I sometimes too lazy to get some real food. Or maybe just because the meeting between the last meeting of morning and the first meeting of afternoon is so short that I don't want to cook. But also I feel like the recent instant food getting better and better. Sometimes they have great ingredients that you can not even get on your own, and they just make it better, so you can taste the flavor that you never can cook on your own. So yeah, instant foods getting better, and I feel like they are better than what I can cook myself. Yeah, not like you have to sacrifice your own taste. Sometimes it tastes much better, but maybe it's not more healthy because most of the ingredients are like the foods are not fresh. So you should always eat some fresh vegetable and fresh fruits Yeah, you cannot really just eat dessert every day to survive. Just too much sugar, right? Okay. Yeah, so by lubing and filming the switch, sometimes the switch itself were not easy to close. I think usually JWK linears are pretty okay, but if you are working with, let's say, the ink black, or maybe like Holy Panda or Cream, you definitely don't want to use the normal switch film. You want to use either very thin switch film, or you should try to use the Deskeys gasket switch film, because that one can compress. Okay, that's for sure the KB defense. Spam again. Yeah, I probably should turn off the restock, but sometimes I'm afraid of missing important ones, like the polarized I got. But I figured the last batch already out, so no more polarized extras. Okay, cool. So we got the switches, which were super cool, right? Really bright. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a good keycaps to match the switch, but you don't really need to, because you will not see it. Okay, now time to assemble. You know what a stupid person like me will do? Forget to put this diffuser before putting the switches. Now I need to see if I can even like get this one inserted. Okay, yeah, luckily I can still do that. Just need to make sure it can still fit in. You love the look of that? I think you're so easy to love the look of new switches. That will make your wallet burning a lot, Miss Frosty. Okay, so on this side there are too many switches, so probably harder to get in. Okay, I think you can get in this side easily. Okay, this one is also easy. Yeah. Without standoff, you can still do that. I mean, you can still like just screw in the side, so it didn't really like pop out, but I don't think it's a big deal. You didn't get the Jelly Epoch, but certified section 75 is probably the best 75 keyboard on the market with all the functionality, and many people like it, so you're not going to regret that. And is that R2 or R1 from aftermarket? Okay, cool. So we got the PCB in. And now it's the case. And finally the screws. Seaweed green. Both tries. Yeah, I think green are not going to match a lot of keycaps, but once you get a good keycaps like Camping, Ursa, or maybe Botanical, or maybe just like in general other good green keycap set, it will look fire and very unique. Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to match keycap set with like, you know, lilac keyboards or maybe green keyboards, so they stay away from that. But I feel like those are the better color in the custom world, because you can easily get a like black case, or you can easily get a white plastic case, looks similar to a E-white. Like, it definitely doesn't feel the same as an aluminum keyboard, but it's really hard to tell. But yeah, get green keyboard, lilac keyboards were pretty much how a custom keyboard can be very unique. Okay, so all the switches in and stiff. Yeah, stiff. There's no way we can rescue that part just because how the internal design is. Like, I don't think the plate is flexed at all, as well as how it too was fitting with the stabilizers, causing all kinds of stiffness after all. But I already removed all the switch. These are all the screws I didn't really use, which can help reduce some stiffness. And we got the gold knob. Now the question is, should we still go with GMK Bingsu or should we go with other keycaps? Maybe let's try to get the Infinity Cafe. I think Cafe looks good with the gold knob. Beige, yeah, I think 909 is good, but I don't really have a good one. I mean, I don't have a beige keycap set yet. I just have the CRP R4 group buy, but I don't really get it yet. The white, yeah, I can go the bleached, but I go bleached too often recently. So, and also I've been using GMK for the whole time. Maybe let's try the Infinite Cafe. Bingsu, still want Bingsu. Yeah, so I should have a catalog for people to know what keycaps I have. But so today I can put on Bingsu, Oblivion. What else do I have? DMG. And Olivia, and Infinity Cafe, and SA Oblivion. Olivia Light, Bingsu on this one, or Olivia? Okay, let's go Olivia. Olivia or Oblivion? DMG, okay, so many choices. Let me think about that. So the silver, yeah, I think DMG. Let's do that. Yeah, DMG is fine on that. And also, like the silver or gray silver stuff were pretty good match. I think DMG is the only thing TKC did right. And the reason they are doing right is not really like the recent work, it's really just like how historically DMG is a good set. Yeah, it's GMK, that's why it's going correct. Yeah, nowadays TKC had Infinity Key, which is not good. So I own the Cafe because I actually got that, and I don't have a GMK Cafe, so I just want to use the DMG, Infinity Cafe until I get a GMK Cafe R2. Yeah, I think the alpha looks good on this one. Yeah, if I get GMK Cafe R2, you get my Infinity Key? Yeah, sure. I think the Infinity Cafe was pretty good on the compatibility. Like all the 40% keyboard, I can use the Infinity Cafe on that. Like every time my client try to build something with 40%, the only keycaps that I can use is the Infinity Cafe. Yeah, even I have the 40% kit from Olivia. It doesn't have the 1.75U backspace. I think it costs a lot of drama for people to support that and try to ask that in a lot of GMK group buy. And the designer just refused to add that in. And the drama is related to like the original designer of what's that keyboard card. Yeah, I think the keyboard were owned by TKC now. The van, yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, basically this a drama that Evan, the designer, were just copying a lot of design from like Zambumon to do their render without any, you know, like asking. So basically the whole design Keycaps designer community tried to like boycott the 40%, but at the end of the day it's only just one 40% keycaps keyboard that person invents. Yeah, definitely if DMG runs R3, I don't know if they will still run from TKC, but yeah, I don't think TKC runs any GMK recently after like long time ago. Probably like TKC didn't really get a lot of profit from GMK, and they can get, I know, maybe a huge profit from running Infinity Key. Yeah. Like in this world, it's not really like how you can get something good for your customer for TKC. It's really like how much money they can earn. Yeah, the reverse dice up is pretty bad, especially on some sample keycaps I see from... Okay, my bad, what I'm doing. Okay, I need to get this one out first. Get the spacebar out. So the layout is using 3-1U key. What's going on? GMK. Okay, so not those kinds. Okay, full off the bubble. How about that? Yeah, if it's too much, let me know. I can change that. Yeah, I think DMG were just like blew my mind, and I don't even know this keycap set before I saw some video of like maybe some photo from some people in the Z Frontier. I think they were making the same of Game Boy, and that was an awesome like shot from them. Okay. DMG looks good, right? Yes, I have the black arrows. I think these were pretty nice. Okay, the right side mods. The last thing to fix, which is also something I don't really know how. Okay, page up, page down. Page down function. Okay. The hardest part on this right column is to get the right keycaps on that, which I don't really have a good solution usually. Like, what's your right column of 65% when you go by default? Because I never know a good one. The only one I know always compatible is the home, page up, page down, and end. But what are your full keys here? Home, page up, page down, end. Yeah, I think that's like the classic, or maybe that's like the default, which can work. Delete page up, page down, FN. I mean, I'm always just using, you know, like placeholder keys, so I don't really like need them too much, so I just want to get them right. Function isn't default right now. Function is definitely not default because this is like the right column. Yeah, I feel like I get used to the 60%, so this is not something I really care, but yeah, I'm trying to see how people are using that. Cool, so this is the white ice, aka silver, GMMK Pro, built with FFFF, looped with Krytox 205G0, and I'm using the DMG GMK Keycap set on that. I think it turns out to be pretty good retro looking. And this is bottom. I hate you need to put the tag here, but that's what a larger company had to do. And this is the back. And look at the knob, didn't really go very higher than R1 of the keycap set. And this is the side profile. So probably we will have light up so we can see it. And DMG looks good. Okay, let's light up and see how that looks. Let me see if I miss anything. Okay, nothing really. Okay, so right now it's some state of flashing, and the RGB may not really turn on, turn off. Yeah, maybe the flashing just remind me to flash something together. So let me see if my download works now, and I can try to download the latest firmware. Maybe I should just like go straight to the typing test and do the firmware later. Yeah, nobody really want to see the firmware update, right? Okay, let's do the typing test. And typing test comparison with my E7, which is not very comparable, but let's see how that works. Cool, so the lighting on the side is flashing. I don't know, I probably will check out later. Yeah, so this RGB, if you really take out the keycaps, you can see the gaming keyboard, but you have to use some better shine through key switch. Okay, let me test the VR to see if all the keys works first. Okay, I don't know what F13 works, so I will just assume it didn't really work. Okay, so look like the default mapping is delete up, page down, and end. Yeah, that's the default key mapping. Yes. Switches were just like JWK linear. And the typing test. Let me see the other angle will be too dark or not, because I know like at this time, yeah, the lighting may not look too good. So probably just stick with this one. Cool. So we built this one with FFFF and still use the aluminum plate. Yeah, your voice 65 come as FN default. I think that makes sense, because if you don't really have the column key, like bottom key here to map with FN, you have to find one. So it depends. Different designer have different defaults. Cool. Let's see how that sounds. And here's smart sound. Yeah, I don't think this sounds any bad as other people saying. Maybe just because like the linear switches I had were so nice. But from the typing, like, you know, like typing feeling itself, definitely feel like on the stiff side, you don't really give any like flex on any part. Oh, so the side glow will respond to my typing. Okay. So it's definitely like very stiff by typing sound. Yeah, and also the sound itself were not very, how do I describe that? Yeah, it's really like with a lot of foam that you can reduce the echo-ness or hollowness, but that's like how that turns out, rather than like by default it's super sound nice. So here is the E7 with just like one layer of foam between plate and PCB, not a case foam. And let's do a fake typing test. Yeah, so that's the E7 sound. I would definitely like not compare this one directly because this is the $400 keyboard, and like by doing the sound test you can really see like how internal design like without foam consideration is pretty good when you have a high-end design, and like usually you have to get a lot of foam to make your keyboard sound nice, but not as nice as a better keyboard on the market. But yeah, still hard to say like at which part it doesn't really sound nice, but it's our preference. Maybe you like the GMK Pro, maybe you won't, but it's really not the same one as me. Yeah, it didn't really sound bad. Like they are just not the same one. Yeah, if you compare the sound, KBD 67 Lite is better. Yeah, I think if you really want the knob, and also just like by taking whatever you have from your laptop keyboard, come to this one, then 75 with knob and gasket, if you really consider this is a gasket. I feel like if I describe the keyboard sound, this feels more like a top mount. And this is definitely a gasket. Yeah, sorry, I still have my mods, my like mods and number row with U40. So these are the U40. U40 and the Compatto, which is the JWK linear. And I definitely feel like this is the gasket versus GMK Pro feels more like a top mount. Yeah, so if you really compare, maybe this is a better comparison or maybe bad because I'm using different plate. So the E7 is aluminum plate, but my KFE currently use a PC, and also the switches are lavender, so they sound definitely different. Yeah, I just have so many JWK, but they are different. This is FFFF. They are basically alpaca recolor, and these are lavender, so it comes from the full nylon housing, so they sound deeper. And this is Compatto, so they have like longer stem pole and also progressive screen. Yeah, beer looks so good with Ursa, for sure. I'm just having this one on F13 key. Thank you for your artisan. Yeah, I really appreciate. I have a very special artisan from you. Yeah, so I would say the typing feeling goes similar to a top mount versus a gasket. Yeah, it's definitely not on the gasket flex. It's definitely on the top mount flex. And the typing sound. So this one has one layer of case foam, and this one has one layer of plate foam, and this one has both plate foam and case foam. So when you really compare all the sound together, this board still feels hollow. Yeah, so no matter how many layer foam you can add, when your keyboard is not designed perfectly, like this keyboard, $500, $600, or this keyboard, $400, it's sub 200, which I would say from the price is pretty good. If anybody want to get under $200, 75% keyboard with a knob, yes, a knob again, a knob. I will test this knob by having the music lower up. Yeah, so with a knob, and if you really want 75%, and if you like the silver, not white, or if you want the black one, like because they are limited color edition, yeah, this is probably a good keyboard to start. Yeah, but otherwise, I feel like this is not bad starter keyboard for anybody. Like I have my intern, I recommend him getting this keyboard just because he wants a 75 with knob and LED screen, and only set 75 has that. So I said maybe for the price you have budget on, better to spend on this GMK Pro first. And if you want to know how to mod a keyboard, either waiting for like, you know, a good switches like maybe the Water King I tried last night. Yeah, let me see if I can swap some with the alpha area to see. I don't think it will be too much different at all. And then the next thing is really like the stabilizers, how you can get better stabilizers or maybe just like loop them. So watching this video, he probably will know how to disassemble everything and loop some good stabilizers, replace them, and put this maybe like Alpaca V2 or Water King. Yeah, let's try again to see whether they turn out to be good on this keyboard as well. Because if they turn out to be good, they don't need to loop. I would definitely recommend for people who enter into this hobby don't want to get loop, because looping takes a lot of effort. I can see that. I think everybody here know how to loop switches will be able to see that as well. Yeah, so here the sounds. These are not Water King, these are the FFFF. Looped with Krytox 25G0, film with Deskeys film. And here's the stock Water King. And FFFF. Water King. So stock switches are now doing great. I think the stock like factory loop were like just insane. I think sometimes I feel like they are over looped based on my loop, because these are looped by me, and personally I don't really go a really heavy loop. I'm just doing very thin coat on a loop. And for the stock loop Water King gets, they are just like really nice. Yeah, so I get this Water King before the vendor become my sponsor, so I'm like not getting any discount or not getting this product for free. I'm just like this product before I can even know what they are. But now I feel like they are definitely something I can recommend for whoever don't want to loop their switches. But if you know how to loop switches, they may feel different than what you will loop your switch. So take your own risk and understand, maybe like just buy like a batch and see how you like it. Because like when you have under looped, you can always add more loop, but when you have, you know, like over looped switch, it's hard to like know how to get them under looped a little bit. Like wiping off the loop and reloop them probably take longer time than loop. So I would say if it's something that won't satisfy your needs, You probably still want to go the unloop switch and loop yourself, but if you are okay with overloop switch, I mean not overloop, but it's on like your taste. But yeah, I will still recommend everybody try out one batch and see how they work. But to be honest, I don't really feel like I need to loop them at all because they just like feel really smooth and doesn't really sound bad. I mean, sound good, to be honest. Cool. This is pretty much for the GMK string, and yeah, in conclusion, the dessert tastes really well. And actually the board is not that bad, and it's just like great bugs for great quality for the bugs you have. The only thing is like you need to know how to mod your stabilizers. Maybe change your gasket because some gasket were just like trash or busted. Then next thing is find the good switches, put them on, and get good keycaps. To be honest, the whole board costs most on the keycaps. Like keycaps is more than the board plus the switches, so it's really hard to say how you will recognize this one as a budget keyboard. But at the end of the day, like for the preference, like if you want a 75% with a knob and also RGB, oh sorry, this is definitely good. PCKL90 open for group by next month. I'm not sure what that is, but I will check it out. But also, if you know how a thick bezel 60% keyboard is very unique, you can also try to get something called Piggy. Okay, another 75 with knob. Yeah, I think nowadays like people who like my intern don't really want to wait. So every time they can see something in stock, they will try to get it out. Okay, wow, that actually looks cool. Even have the left column. So that's technically not a 75%, it's a 75.5%, right? OLED again, wow. Okay, I will recommend him. Maybe he will try to enter that after getting this GMMK Pro, because you know this is a rabbit hole. You start with something, you may not end with that thing. You may end with hundreds of that thing. Cool, see you next time. Happy chat with all you guys, and I probably will schedule next Monday for which build? I just don't remember. Yeah, let me check my tentative schedule because I know. I try to make sure I know what I'm doing. Okay, I probably will try to build my bear again with some foam underneath and go between the plate and PCB so we can see how foam can improve the bear. Yeah, have a good night. See you.